Hello, my loving students of class 9. I welcome you all in this history class. We are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter number 2, Early Vedic Civilization from Indian History. So, let's start our class. In this chapter, you'll learn about the sources to reconstruct the early Vedic civilization, as well as you'll come to know about the non-iron phase, non-iron period, right? So that time, that period of early Vedic civilization, that was known as non-iron period or non-iron phase. As not only that, you'll come to know about the society. You'll come to know about the people, their conditions, living conditions, their economic life, as well as you'll come to know about the position of women and the different economic activities, as well as the religious belief and religious faith. Clear? Okay, so let's start. In direct contrast to the Harappan civilization, which was urban in character, as I told you in earlier class also, previous class, that the Harappan civilization was urban in character. That means very modern in character, right? The civilization of the early Vedic age was agrarian. So agrarian means rural. That is rural. The early Vedic age is said to have ended around 1000 BC. Aryan settlements in the Rig Vedic age. With the coming of Aryans, a new civilization was developed in India. The historians have held different views regarding the origin or original home of Aryans. The views held by most historians is that the Aryans migrated from Caspian Sea region, Central Asia to different parts of Asia and Europe. In India, the Aryans lived in Sapta Sindhu region for a long time. This region was comprised of 5 rivers of Punjab. So Punjab means it's a association of 5 rivers. Punjab, 5 rivers. So those 5 rivers are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, and Satluj, and river Indus, Sindhu, and the river Saraswati. The Sapta Sindhu region is believed to be the first permanent home of the Aryans. So it is believed that the first permanent settlement was of Aryan settlement. So that was believed to be the first settlement, right? So it was here that the hymns of Rig Veda composed, and reference has been made to Yamuna also. The Ganga is mentioned only twice in this Rig Veda or Rig Vedic civilization, right? Okay. So from this paragraph, we come to know that the Aryans, they were the first settlement of the Sapta Sindhu region, and Sapta Sindhu region is believed to be the first settlement home of the Aryans. And Aryans, they had migrated from Central Asia through Caspian Sea, and they settled to different parts of Asia and Europe. And in India, it was believed that in around the Sapta Sindhu region area, they had came first and settled there, right? Settled permanently there. Okay, now next we have sources to reconstruct early Vedic civilization. The early Vedic literature of the Aryans is divided into two broad categories: early Vedic literature and later Vedic literature. So literature, that means written documents, were there which reconstruct, those were the sources to reconstruct the early Vedic civilization. So that were of two categories. Number one, early Vedic literature and later Vedic literature. The Rig Veda, the first of the Vedas, is probably the earliest literary work that humanity possesses, and it contains hymns in praise of different gods and goddesses like Indra, Varuna, and Agni. So the first Rig Vedic literature that the Rig Veda, the first literary work that contains the hymns in praise of different gods and goddesses, right? Like Indra, Varun, and Agni. It consists of nearly 1028 hymns divided into 10 mandalas or books. It pertains to the period from 1500 BC to 1000 BC. So, from this, we come to know that the Rig Veda contains the hymns, that is, which contains or where the praise of different gods and goddesses were given, right? So there were approximately, there are approximately 1028 hymns, which is divided into 10 books. Now next, how do Rig Vedic hymns enable us to reconstruct early Vedic civilization? Number one, Indra is the most favorite god of Rig Vedic Aryans. He is considered to be rain god. Indra, we know that it's a rain god. Clouds and rainfall naturally played a significant role in their economic life. Why they praise or why they worship rain? Indra, because rain god, because that rain played a significant role in their economic life, because most of the people, they were agrarian. Agrarian means they mostly they were like their the main occupation of early Vedic civilization was agriculture, right? Okay, so it played a significant role in their economic life. That is why they worship god Indra, rain god. Their economy was predominantly an agricultural one, as I told you. In the Rig Veda, the god Indra is also known as Purandhar, which means the breaker of forts. The Aryans often invoked his help to destroy their enemies. They often invoked his help, means they praised, or they used to do pray to god, rain god, to help them to destroy their enemies, right? So next in importance to Indra comes Agni. So Agni means fire, personification of the sacrificial fire. Sacrifices or yajna occupied a prominent place in the early Vedic religion. Agni was thought of a messenger or a bearer of offerings of milk, grain, ghee, etc. from men to God. So Agni, that means personifications, that means of the sacrificial fire. And we know that Agni means in puja or in ritual rites or ritual times, we used to, or we still we offer what, ghee, we offer grain, milk, right? So Agni was thought that time as a messenger or a bearer of offerings from men to God. There was so many references to the cow and the bull in the Rig Vedic hymns. The cow constituted the most. There are so many references to the cow and the bull in the Rig Vedic period or Rig Vedic hymns. The cow constituted the most important form of wealth of the Rig Vedic Aryans. That means if a person is not having a cow, that means he is very poor, right? And the person having a number of cows, that means that person is considered as more prosperous or richer than any other person, right? Okay, so the cow constituted the most important form of what, wealth of the Rig Vedic Aryans. One hymn in the Rig Veda refers to the four orders of society: the priest, that is the Brahmin, the warrior class, that is Kshatriya, the common people engaged in agriculture, trade, and industry, that is Vaishyas, and the last category, that is, or that was servants and workers category, Shudras. So this differentiation was based on occupations, but the class division was not very sharp, and It was based on the principle that all people were equal. So that means that time in Rig Vedic period, or in Vedic time, the people treated each other as like they equally treated each other, right? And the there was no caste distinction. So all this differentiation, like four categories like Kshatriya, Brahmins, and your Shudras and Vaishyas, that was accorded, that differentiation was based on occupations, right? But the class division was not very sharp, so they were not very rigid towards their caste distinction, right? So the society was still liberal. That means they have liberal idea, and it was based on the principle that all people are equal or were equal, right? Okay, so now let's discuss the next topic, that is non-iron phase of Vedic history. This was a non iron using phase of Vedic history. That means archaeological evidence suggests that the grey ware culture of Punjab and Haryana extended to regions such as Bhagwanpura in Kurukshetra and Dandheri in Ludhiana and Katpalan and Nagar in Jalandhar. The economy of the Rig Vedic Aryans was chiefly agrarian and pastoral. Pastoral means pasture. Okay, pasture, grasslands, and domestication of animals and cattle, as well as agriculture, right? So that were the main like sources of economy. Now the Rig Vedic economy of the Rig Vedic Aryans was chiefly agrarian and pastoral. The city proper played no part in their life. Cattle formed the chief source of their wealth. Cattle means animals. Animal rearing was formed the chief source of their wealth. While the copper and bronze were available in plenty and the use of iron was not known to the early Vedic Aryan. So only copper and bronze were available in plenty and iron was not discovered. And evidence also show that there is no presence of iron that period. That is why this Rig Vedic or Rig Vedic Aryans or early Vedic civilization was also known as non-iron phase of Vedic history. Clear? Okay. Okay, next we have the family and the position of women. The family, the basic unit of the this social structure was the family, and the joint family system was prevalent. So joint family means it's a large family where the grandparents, grandchildren, as well as father, mother, and uncle, aunts, all living together. So that's type that is your joint family, large family. So there was no presence of nuclear or a single parent family, small family, right? Okay, so the houses in that age, in that period, was built of reeds and woods. The Rig Vedic society was patriarchal, in which Grihapati, master of the house, dominated in family as well as in social life. So patriarchal means it's a elder male member. So he is the or he was the Grihapati. That means master of the house and dominated in the family life as well as in the social life. Clear? Okay. As a male member. Position of women. Women were treated as being equal with men. They took part in all the religious rites. Women were given educations. There were women scholars who composed hymns and were well versed in sacred scriptures. Girls had freedom in the choice of their husbands. Monogamy was a usual practice, though polygamy was also practiced by many. Child marriage, sati system, and parda did not exist among the Aryans. and the women attended all the social functions and gatherings. So from this we come to know that the position of women was really the position of women in Aryan Vedic period was really good. Why? Because they were equally treated as men. Clear? And women were given, girls were given education, they were given freedom, as well as they freely took part in the rituals, rites, and other functions, as well as girls had given freedom to choose their or choose their husbands, as well as monogamy was the usual practice. Monogamy means marrying one person, having one wife. So that's a monogamy. And polygamy means a person is having more than one wife. So that's a polygamy. Monogamy was the usual practice, but sometimes or somewhere polygamy was also practiced by many. So child marriage, sati system, and parda system did not exist in that Aryan period. The women attended all the social functions and gatherings, as well as there were women scholars, women educated scholars who composed hymns and were well versed in the sacred scriptures. So from this we come to know that the women of Rig Vedic society were really educated, and we can say from this we can say they might have a liberal idea, right? Okay children, that's all for the day. In next video hopefully we'll complete this chapter. Till then, bye bye.